Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to Take Six. I'm streaming executive producer Thomas Mates, filling in for Julie Broughton. She has the day off. She'll actually be returning to us on Monday, on Tuesday. On Monday, Lisa Bell will be filling in for us, so you have that to look forward to. But for today, you've got me. We've got a lot going on today. We're going to be taking a look at an event that's coming up tomorrow at the Orlando Science Center. It's going to be looking at the difference between wine and coffee and the science behind all of that. We're also going to be taking a look at student loans. Collections for that are coming up very soon, and it could go to debt collections, and if you are in default, it could see your wages garnished even. We'll take a look at that upcoming potential problem for some borrowers and how you can prevent that from going into collections and putting yourself in some serious trouble with your creditors. But before we get to all of that, we need to take a look at the Vatican. Today is the last day for mourners to partake in the public viewing of Pope Francis, who died earlier this week on Easter Monday. Let's take a live look at the Vatican right now, where the public viewing is underway. There you can see Pope Francis lying in state there. His funeral is set for tomorrow, set to begin around 4 a.m. our time. News 6 will be streaming it live as it happens, and on clickorlando.com and the News 6 YouTube page, we will also be live streaming our normal morning broadcast on News 6 Plus, so that will still be available for you, although on air we will be in coverage of Pope Francis's funeral. There is expected to be up to 200,000 people attending Pope Francis's funeral tomorrow, including President Donald Trump. CBS News' Tina Kraus has more on the preparations for the ceremony honoring the pontiff tomorrow.
Mourners keep filing into St. Peter's Basilica to spend a few final moments in the Pope's presence before his coffin is sealed tonight. How long did you wait in line?
I think it was about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, so not terrible.
Risa and Peter Walsh from Leesburg, Virginia, came to pay their respects.
He was trying to lift up people and bring us together. Yeah.
Humility, yeah, no doubt.
Which
he's a good man.
Which we need more of in this crazy world.
The Vatican says as of noon Rome time, 150,000 visitors paid homage to the 88-year-old who died Monday. The Vatican says the funeral Pope Francis wanted was one of a pastor and not of a monarch, but royalty will attend. 10 monarchs in all, along with 50 heads of state, including President Trump and former President Biden, one of only 2 Catholic U.S. presidents. President Trump spoke fondly of the Pope as he and the First Lady left for Rome.
I met him twice. I thought he was a fantastic kind of a guy.
After the funeral, there will be a nearly 4-mile-long procession to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, where Francis chose to be buried. You know he'll be buried in the other church, only in a simple coffin. What do you think of this?
It's a very beautiful gesture. It's really amazing what he's doing. He's showing that he's not better than anyone. He's just a simple man.
The Vatican says the poor and needy will be waiting on the steps of his favorite church, embracing him in death as he did them in life. Tina Kraus, CBS News, the Vatican.
Again, News 6 will carry coverage of the Pope's funeral. That'll be starting at about 4 a.m. our time. You'll be able to see that on clickorlando.com and on the News 6 YouTube page. So if you are among the faithful and you want to honor Pope Francis from afar, we have you covered there. Also coming up in the next week or so, we're going to be seeing the return of collections for student debt. Only a fraction of debtors are currently up to date on their student loans, which have not gone to collection since before the pandemic. And up to 40%, according to the Department of Education, are in default at the moment. News 6's Jarrell Baker has more on what you can do to protect yourself from going to collections and possibly seeing your wages garnished.
Time is up for the pause on student loan collections.
We need more money, you know. We need people to pay money back so we can move forward, you know.
I think honestly, financially, I think that everyone's still recovering. I mean, a lot of people are out of work for a really, really long time.
Collections were halted since March 2020 when student loan payments and interest accrual were paused due to the pandemic. But May 5th, the Education Department will start collecting payments for student loans in default.
It's not a black and white subject, especially again with everything that's going on today with, recession looming and tariffs being levied. Every day it's something new. I don't think now is the right time.
Those borrowers in default haven't made a payment within 270 days. According to the Education Department, fewer than 40% of borrowers are current on their student loan payments.
They can come after your wages and garnish your wages. If you're getting a tax refund, you won't be getting a tax refund. And as you probably know, if you're in default on a loan, it also affects your credit score.
The Education Department says 5.3 million borrowers are in default, and millions more could be in that same spot in a few months. Financial expert Joe Burt with Certified Financial Group says there's no time to waste.
What you want to do is see the status of your loan. Go to studentaid.gov, that's studentaid.gov, and see the status of your loan. And then if you are in default, or if you have trouble paying your loans, go to the default resolution group and give them a call, and they will work with you.
Burt says the group can help borrowers make a monthly payment, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, or sign up for loan rehabilitation. Those in default will receive emails within the next 2 weeks. Wage guardment notices will come out later this summer. In Orlando, Jarrell Baker getting results, News 6.
It is a difficult process getting those student loans paid off. It took me a long while to take care of that myself, so I understand it can be an extreme burden, especially on the finances. So hopefully people are able to get those repayment plans put into place so that they do not go further into default and possibly deal with wage garnishments or anything like that. Moving on, we are now looking at accused United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangione is due in court today in federal court. He is set to be indicted on federal charges. The Trump administration and the DOJ have said they are seeking the death penalty against Mangione. CBS's Ali Bowman has more on what we can expect in court today.
Earlier this month, Attorney General Pam Bondi instructed prosecutors to seek the death penalty for Mangione, calling the December 2024 shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson premeditated and cold-blooded.
The president's directive was very clear. We are to seek the death penalty when possible.
Mangione is accused of stalking and gunning down the 50-year-old father of two as Thompson walked to a conference at a New York hotel. Police say he fled the city and was arrested 5 days later at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
In this case, I think the president and the attorney general have made no secret of the fact that they want to make an example of this case, that they want to show that there will be no tolerance for this type of alleged behavior.
The killing became a touch point for anger over high costs for patients in the U.S. healthcare system. People across the country have voiced support for the suspect and donated to his defense. Mangione has already been arraigned on state charges in New York and Pennsylvania. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges.
Both sides are going to fight about whether certain evidence can be introduced, whether certain people will testify, and that will give us a sense of the shape and extent of the case.
And late last night, prosecutors filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. Now, it's unclear if the federal or state case will be tried first. That's something prosecutors will likely have to get together and figure out next. Ali Bauman, CBS News, New York.
Now, we are monitoring the courthouse in New York, the federal courthouse, where Mangione is expected to arrive later today. The arraignment is set for 1 p.m. We are expecting him to arrive shortly before that. If we get a shot of him entering and or leaving the court, we'll bring that to you live on clickorlando.com and the News 6 YouTube page when it happens. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 2 minutes, and when we come back, we'll get a look at the differences in the science between coffee and wine. News 6 Insider Guide and morning anchor Crystal Moyer has all of that coming up for you right after the break. We'll see you then.
Wine and coffee. They have more in common than you think. I'm News 6 anchor Crystal Moyer, and I'm at Barney's Coffee in Winter Park. That's sharing the science behind brewing and fermenting for a good cause.
The whole roasting process is a chemical reaction to get from this raw material that we see right here, the green coffee, to this roasted product.
So you're basically a scientist.
I wouldn't go that far.
Head coffee roaster Christian Jose Morrison says the process is much like wine, starting as a grape, then cooked with yeast, converting the juice into alcohol and carbon dioxide, more chemical reactions. But they differ in the way they make you feel.
It has caffeine in it, and it gives you that chemical in your brain to keep you up. Wine has a chemical in it that brings you almost like a depressant, it brings you down.
Now to the good cause I mentioned earlier. Barney's will be one of the presenters at the Orlando Science Center for their annual Science and Wine fundraiser.
A lot of people don't realize that Orlando Science Center is a nonprofit organization, and we have a very active outreach program, not just going to schools, but to local community centers and neighborhood centers.
More than a dozen local restaurants will be on hand, serving up popular dishes alongside wine and champagne for the event, with live music, hands-on demonstrations, and full access to what the Orlando Science Center already offers. When I asked why science and wine, the answer was,
why not?
Organizers say the unique event captures the attention of adults who want to give a toast to the continued education and outreach of the Orlando Science Center. Barney's Coffee partnering with OSC for the event with a special presentation on coffee and wine, even pairing the two for their red wine coffee spritzer. I tasted it. It's pretty refreshing. Science and Wine takes place Saturday at the Orlando Science Center. There's still tickets available. I posted information on clickorlando.com/insider. In Winter Park, Crystal Moyer, Getting Results, News 6.
Hey, if you're not already a News 6 Insider, you should be. It is completely free, and it gives you access to great stories from Crystal Moyer and so much more. Again, it's clickorlando.com/insider. Welcome back to Take 6. The time now is 12:43. I am streaming executive producer Thomas Mates, filling in for Julie Broughton. She has the day off. She will return on Tuesday. On Monday, we'll have Lisa Bell sitting here in the hosting chair, and News 6 digital meteorologist David Nazario will be filling in on weather. So all that will be coming up on Monday. Julie will be back on Tuesday. In the meantime, we are taking a look at a new facility out in Lake Mary that is giving expecting mothers a new option when it comes to childbirth with state-of-the-art care. News 6 anchor Bridget Ellison has more on that story right now.
That's Prince Amir.
A welcome new addition to the Orlando Health family of care just opened in Seminole County, the new Orlando Health Lake Mary Center for Women and Babies. It's an exciting and popular choice of convenience for Seminole residents like the Bibbins family.
Yeah, so I found out from my OBGYN that I would be able to deliver here. The first time around I was at Winnie Palmer, and this was such a great experience for it to be closer.
Baby Amir is one of more than 220 babies born here since it opened in January 2025.
He's saying hello to you.
The facility is filled with new technologies such as a wireless monitor for patients, allowing more mobility. Certiscan, a digital footprint and fingerprint system for new baby and mom. And digital whiteboards like these provide clearer connections between the team and patients.
This digital whiteboard completely uploads from our electronic medical record, so the patient is up to date on their care plan, who their care team is. When we talk about ease of use for both the patient and the nursing team and the clinical team, remarkable.
From the hallways to waiting areas and birthing suites, the design and decor has been carefully curated to provide calm, comfort, welcoming surroundings for care. And Bibbins says that's been the experience for the whole family as they prepare to take their new addition home.
If I have another baby, I will gladly come back.
Sounds like she's game.
Bridget Ellison, News 6.
That's a great new facility for those mothers out there in Seminole County. It is hot and dry today. It has been hot and dry all week. The drought conditions have worsened as we just found out yesterday during a Thursday update from the National Weather Service. We're also hopefully going to see a little bit of rain in the near future, potentially. News 6 meteorologist Michelle Morgan has more on that with your forecast.
Happy Friday. I'm News 6 meteorologist Michelle Morgan. Thank you for heading over to clickorlando.com and our Pinpoint Weather app. Here are your headlines for today and the next several days. The drought situation continues to worsen across Central Florida. We're really not seeing that significant rain that we need. This weekend is looking very hot and mostly dry, so make sure you're staying hydrated if you have any outdoor plans. And then we are looking at rain chances bumping up as we begin the work week, all thanks to the colliding sea breezes. As we take a look at your hour-by-hour forecast for today featuring plenty of sunshine. We're at 72 around 9, 80 around 11, 83 degrees around 1. And then seeing our daytime highs reach the upper 80s in Kissimmee, Orlando, DeLand, and Sanford. We're in the lower 90s in Ocala, stretching all the way to Winter Haven. And then along our coastal spots, comfortable in the lower 80s. Now, rain chances remain minimal up until Sunday. We'll have a weak cold front move through Sunday night into Monday morning. But the colliding sea breezes will be the reason why we'll see our rain chances bump up to 40%. And a few locations could possibly see a few downpours, and we certainly need it. As we take a look at the rainfall deficit, you can see a lot of red on your screen. Many spots definitely need the rain, and we might see it as we head into our Monday. The drought monitor, latest information as of Thursday, you could see some red here. We're looking at parts of Marion County, Sumter, and Lake counties under that extreme drought. Even Volusia County seeing that extreme drought situation. So we certainly need the rain. And as we go through the weekend, jumping ahead, a few isolated showers are certainly possible. Saturday night into early Sunday morning, there's our weak front. Moving through Sunday evening into Monday, may see a few isolated showers over our northern zones. But look at this, as we go through your Monday morning into your Monday evening, we'll see the colliding sea breezes, and that is going to increase our rain chances across Central Florida to 40 to even 50%. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. A high of 88 tonight, 66, 92 for our Saturday, much warmer on Sunday with a high of 94, and then rain chances bump up to 40% on Monday with a high of 89, and a bit cooler on Tuesday, seeing those daytime highs in the lower to middle 80s.
That 90-degree weekend is looking a little rough, but hopefully we'll see that rain come Monday. 40%, better than the 20% we had been forecasting earlier in the week, so hopefully we'll see as much rain as we can get. We'll take it. In the meantime, that'll do it for us here on Take 6 today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back on News 6 at 4. News 6 meteorologist Jonathan Kegas will be in for Julie Broughton with more on your forecast. And of course, we'll have all of the day's headlines for you as well. Again, that's coming up on News 6 at 4. As one last reminder, tomorrow morning, the funeral for Pope Francis, we will be streaming that live starting around 4 a.m. right here on, or rather not right here on News 6 Plus, but on clickorlando.com and on the News 6 YouTube page. You'll be able to see that starting at 5. Our normal newscast will be streaming here on News 6 Plus for those who want their local news. But CBS will have complete coverage on air of the Pope's funeral. Again, that is Pope Francis' funeral starting tomorrow at about 4 a.m. and we will have that available for you on clickorlando.com and on the News 6 YouTube page. We hope that you can join us. Thank you again for joining us today and have a pleasant day. We'll see you on News 6 at 4.